Hey guys, I just wanted to send some words of encouragement during these difficult times of the coronavirus, and this is meant mainly for people of faith. We can't go to church right now. We can watch some live stream services, but we can't go to Sunday school. We can't go to Bible studies. But each one of us has something that we can do to keep the flames of faith going. For me, it's coming to places like this. I've been coming to this spot for over 20 years. And I come here and communicate with God through the language of silence. Someone once wrote that God's first language is silence. And I've spent years learning that language. And I come here to sit and communicate with God in silence. This is one of my thin places. A thin place is where there's very little distance between heaven and earth. And this is one of mine. It's about 1.5 miles from the Bays Mountain parking lot. But each one of you has ways to find a thin space or a thin activity to keep your faith going during these difficult times. And it may be scripture, it might be devotionals, it might be prayer, it might be music, whatever it is. Don't give in to the temptation to hold your breath and wait for things to get back to normal. Continue to do the things that tend to your spiritual growth. We're coming up on Easter. Most likely we will not celebrate it together. Find a way that you will celebrate Easter in your home that's meaningful. Yes, watch the streamlined service, but there's probably ways that you can celebrate Easter because it's the reason for our hope. Many people don't have that hope. There's some lines from Macbeth that go like this: tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. All our yesterdays have lighted fools their way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is a walking shadow, a lowly player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. That's pretty bleak. We don't have that fate. Our faith tells us differently. And it's Easter that has changed all that for us. So find a way to celebrate Easter, even if we're separate. There's a song that I found on YouTube, and it's the song that Enya did 15-20 years ago. That's "How Can I Keep From Singing?" And it was written by an evangelical pastor in 1869, Robert Lowry. But one of the verses ends this way: since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? If you can find that on YouTube, you can Google it by, type in the search engine on YouTube and just type in the words, what happens when you're alone in a cathedral, and it'll pop up. But I bring that up because 1 John chapter 4 tells us that there is no fear in love. So that's the other thing I wanted to encourage you to do, is find a way to keep love a verb. There are still things you can do to love people, even though we can't go to their houses. There's ways that you can encourage and love others, and it will help keep us away from that attitude of locking ourselves in our homes and holding our breath until things get back to normal. So, my encouragement to you is find the ways that you know will work for you to keep the flames going. I told a very bad joke on an Emmaus walk recently, but I'm going to repeat it again because you'll remember my point. Cowboy rides up to a saloon, ties his horse up, walks around to the back of the horse, picks up the tail, and plants a big wet kiss right underneath the tail. There are two old guys sitting out front, and they almost fall off their chairs, and they said, "Mister, why would you do that?" He said, "Well, you see, I got chapped lips." And they said, "Does that cure them?" He said, "No, but it keeps me from licking them." See, that's what I'm trying to say to you right now. Do whatever it takes to keep the flames going. Find your thin place, find your thin activity, Google spiritual disciplines and try a new one, but keep the flames of faith going. Remember, you don't have to stay 6 feet away from God during this time of COVID-19. Now, to my Sunday school class, I'd like to say we've suspended all grades, and we've gone to a pass-fail, and all of you have passed.